Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
A pleasant good day to you and welcome to this, your main newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM that comes to you with the kind compliments of Tropical Delight. In our headlines today, Exxon and partners will walk away with $653 million in waived taxes by 2025. Extra pipelines for Payara will cost billions more than Liza 2, according to Hess executive. Police recover guns stolen as 3 female cops robbed by lone bandit. Government rescinds Health Ministry's headquarter contract after 90% of the $356 million paid, project incomplete despite 317 days extension. The government terminates BK and Courtney Ben school contracts totaling $1.1 billion. And the Kaieteur and Kanji owners violated principal purpose of license, and Guyana should recover and companies sold blocks without doing any work. This is according to Christopher Ram. Get the details of these stories and much more when the news returns.
Hello there, Guyana. You've asked for it. It is finally here. The Wake Up Guyana Show with yours truly, Leonard Gildari. Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Make your voices be heard. Call us, text us. Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. The Wake Up Guyana Show.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Attorney at law Christopher Ram has determined that the initial owners of the Kaieteur and the Kanji oil blocks range on the commitments they made to explore the blocks, and in doing so, violated the principal purpose of the agreement when they flipped the licenses without doing any work. He explained that this violation constitutes sufficient grounds for Guyana to recover the assets and that the government should do so. Ratio Guyana, owned by Ratio Petroleum and Kaieteur Energy, formerly Ratio Energy, each sold 25% of their Kaieteur block ownership to ExxonMobil in March 1, 2017. The transactions waited 2 years following their receipt of the license from former President Donald Ramotar on April 28, 2015, during which the companies did no work. It was only until ExxonMobil became the operator that it conducted a survey 2 months into the ownership and is currently drilling the Tanager well there. After failing to meet their contract obligations, thereby costing taxpayers millions of dollars, the government yesterday exercised its rights to terminate the 2 multi-million school contracts which were awarded to Brian Tiwari's BK International Incorporated and Courtney Benn Contracting Services. The Minister of Legal Affairs and Attorney General Anil Nandalal dispatched letters yesterday to the company secretary of both of the local contractors for the construction of the $352 million St. Rose's High School and the $827 million Yarra Cabra Secondary School. Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer at Hess Corporation, John P. Riley, said that the reason the development cost for the Payara project is so much higher than the Liza Phase 2 project is that the design includes more flow line piping to cater for the greater number of wells. He made this statement during the company's Q3 earnings call in response to a question from Paul Ching, an analyst from Scotia Howard, on the reason Payara ended up costing more than the Liza 2 instead of less. Both the Liza 2 and Payara projects will utilize floating production storage and offloading vessels, FPSO, capable of producing a maximum of 220,000 barrels per day, and will each draw from wells estimated to hold 600 million barrels. Yet, the projected development cost for the Liza 2 is $6 billion US dollars, while the cost for Payara is $9 billion US dollars. Each development is unique, and it does not cost more. And why? Now, what happens is Payara has a greater number of distant reservoirs and therefore a greater area extent, so it will always, and he said it was back in December 2018, the investor presentation is always going to have a higher cost than the Liza Phase 2. So those costs now exactly is what they're expecting, and that is from the VP of, that should be the Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer at Hess Corporation. Police have arrested one person in connection with an illegal firearm that was found in the suspect's garden by his young son. Reports are that about 8 hours 10 at Quarantine Berbice, the minor visited the number 51 police station and handed over an unlicensed pistol to the police. The child reported that he went to water his father's garden, and it was while he was there, his father came into the garden some 20 minutes later and was heard quarreling. The minor told the police that his father then took out a black, bulky plastic bag from his right side pants waist and stuck it under some plants on the ground besides the gardener's inner fence, and subsequently left to an unknown destination. He said after his father left, he went to check and found the pistol there. He then took it into the station. We tell you now that Dominican Senior Counsel Anthony Astafant has been selected by the commissioners and the chairpersons of the Guyana Elections Commission to represent Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield in the upcoming elections petition. Revealing these and other details was opposition-appointed Commissioner Vincent Alexander during a virtual press conference. According to the commissioner, during the commission's meeting on Friday, he as well as the two other opposition-appointed commissioners, Desmond Trotman and Charles Corbin, has restated their reservations on the retention of Senior Counsel Astafant. You're listening to your morning newscast right here. That should be your main newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. Stay with us. More news after the break.
A lot has happened since oil was discovered in 2015. The petroleum industry is an ever-changing web of oil, gas, politics, and money. It gets complicated sometimes, but we can bring you all the latest developments and include you in the discussions here on Kaieteur Radio. So tune in to 99.1 or 99.5 FM every Tuesday night at 20:30 hours for Petroleum 101 with me, your host, Kamal King. Kaieteur Radio, the radio with a difference.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us right here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. Although Chung's global enterprise was handed more than 90% of the $356 million contract costs and given a 317-day extension period for the construction of the Health Ministry's main office, works remained incomplete, forcing the governing administration to terminate his services. In the termination letter sent to Cleong Chung of Chung's Global Enterprise, Attorney General and Legal Affairs Minister Anil Nandlal informed him that the contract was being terminated with immediate effect starting October 31 on the grounds of fundamental breach of the conditions stipulated in the contract. A man who goes by the name of Puppy on Friday last allegedly stabbed and chopped his walking buddy, a minor along the access road in the Northwest District, Region Number 1. Currently at the Massachusetts Hospital in a serious but stable condition is Michael Lynch, 35, of Mabaruma. Lynch was attacked at around 17 hours 30 while walking to work, and according to a police report, the suspect Puppy was walking along the trail with Lynch and another man. Investigators were told that Puppy was imbibing alcohol with the man as they walked together with Lynch. And finally, at this time, instead of allowing ExxonMobil and its partners Hess Corporation and CNOOC Nexen to pay their fair shares of corporate income taxes, Guyana has agreed to pay same on behalf of the contractor from its shares of oil profits. In other words, if Guyana gets $50 in profits and the taxes to be paid to the Guyana Revenue Authority amount to $20, it means that Guyana has only gained $30 in profit. If Guyana did not agree to such provision in the production sharing agreement to begin with, it would have walked away with a total of $70. Upon taking note of this, Tom Sanzolo, Director of Finance at the Institute for Energy Economics and Financial Analysts, told Kaieteur that the public is essentially being shortchanged when the government pays the income taxes for the company. He also expanded on the net effects of the production to Guyana in a damning report titled Guyana's Oil Deal, Promise of Quick Cash Will Leave Country Shortchange. In the report, he sought to show just how much Guyana is losing by opting to pay the taxes for the Stabroek Block. And with that, we've come to the end of your main newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio. Before we go, here's a recap of our top stories. Exxon and partners will walk away with $653 million in waived taxes by 2025. Kaieteur and Kanji owners violated principal purposes of licenses and Guyana should recover. Companies sold block without doing any work, according to Christopher Ram. Extra pipelines for Payara well cost billions, more than Liza 2, according to Hess executive. Government rescinds Health Ministry's headquarter contract after 90% of $356 million paid. Project incomplete despite 317 days extension. And the government terminates BK and Courtney Bend school contracts totaling $1.1 billion. The news came to you with the compliments of Tropical Delight. Let's remind you that you can get the full details of these stories and much more by picking up a copy of the Kaieteur News at a newsstand near you or head across to our website at kaieteurnewsonline.com. I am Joshua Van Slegman. Thank you for joining us. Just before we go, let's bring to you today's COVID-19 update. The Ministry of Health yesterday recorded 46 new COVID-19 cases, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 4,208, as is shown in their daily dashboard update. Ministry officials indicated that the newly recorded cases were from Regions 1, which has 19 new cases, Region 3, which has 4 new cases, Region 4, which has 11 new cases, Region 6, which has 1 new case, Region 7, which has 2 new cases, Region 8, which has 6 new cases, and Region 10, which has 3 new cases. The dashboard also shows that 8 persons are in the COVID-19 intensive care unit at the Georgetown Public Hospital. 73 persons are in institutional isolation, 757 persons are in the approved home isolation, and 35 persons are in institutional quarantine. Further, it states that 126 persons have died and 3,242 has recovered from the virus to date. A total of 19,944 persons have been tested for the COVID-19 countrywide. And that is your COVID-19 update for today. Coming up after the break, it will be time for the National Outlook with GHK Lal.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts.